Hello everyone, I am Frank Gamer, here on Voice Chat, a new program here. This is where we basically just talk about video games or the industry, generally more intelligent conversation sometimes. I'm here with...
FPSdiesel. There's no warning there, it just kind of came out of the blue.
Well,
Hi!
I was going to edit your voice over and then just put it in, and you say whatever I wanted you to say when I edited it.
Oh, well, I just ruined that, whatever.
No, it's fine, I'm just joking. Yeah, I did want to mention though, you did a video recently called "The Truth About Networks." It was really good, and I've been shilling it like crazy to people. but
Thank you.
no, I really have though. Like I legit.
It's an important thing. It affects content creators greatly, so
Yeah.
I figured it was important to talk about. Apparently, networks don't like it when I talk about them.
No. Well, why would they? I mean, it's like you point out something wrong with somebody. You say, "Hey, this is probably not a good thing to do." They're going to
They're
say,
like,
"Hey,
oh, that's not okay. You can't say that.
You can't. Yeah, you can't talk about that. That's not right." Well,
Yeah, I
you're
made
doing
sure.
something wrong, so of course, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I made sure I'm safe. Thank you
yeah.
for shilling for me.
No problem. Yeah. I wanted to talk about RTS games. I did a video not too long ago where I talked about. Actually, it was like a year ago. Holy crap! It was a video about where have all the RTS games gone. Essentially, I argued that it was MOBAs that were taking that, you know, that audience away. But I'm not even sure. Are you pretty familiar with RTS?
I'm pretty familiar. I've had my fair share of StarCrafts, and I've been playing Planetary Annihilation, which is okay. It's okay.
What? Okay, wait. It's not great.
Um, okay, there's a problem with the AI pathing. A lot of units get trapped on walls and shit, and they can't walk around it, and that's really annoying. It kind of throws me out of the experience, and sometimes the spawning's really stupid, where the enemy commander will spawn literally right next to me, and the match lasts about 2 minutes.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, I see. I have high hopes, or I had high hopes for it, because it was the same group that did Total Annihilation and then Supreme Commander, which is like one of my favorite games of all time.
hmm
But then, you know, you hear these stories, and I try to discount it because it's like, you know, well, they kickstarted for it, you know, so maybe they didn't have as much resources. These guys have experience in making these games. There's no excuse, you know, at this point.
Yeah. Allegedly, they dropped off the face of the earth. They've just stopped replying to forums and everything.
Wow.
I was talking with a friend of mine earlier today. He's like, "Oh, how is that game?" And I'm like, "It's okay." He's like, "Yeah, I heard it could have been better. The developers just kind of stopped paying attention to the forums, but that's all hearsay, so I don't know. He's not a valid source." Is all I'm saying. I haven't checked the forums because the game's simple enough for me to understand. But I mean, when you say the RTS crowd has gone to the MOBA space, I mean, I could definitely see where you're getting that. I mean, wasn't the first MOBA technically Warcraft 3?
Yeah, Dota actually came from Warcraft 3. It was a mod for it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I used to play it back in the day, and it was so horrible though back then. Like everyone really liked it and everyone played it, but I just didn't like the game. I thought it was so boring.
And Dota is still boring.
Yep.
Shots fired.
At least like League of Legends has taken over where Dota left off.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, where the MOBAs are now, it seems to be Smite, League of Legends, or in this order of big to small is League of Legends, Dota 2, Smite.
Yeah.
They're top three.
See,
But
I've
you
heard
you
good
don't see
things.
any like StarCraft things anymore usually.
No, that's such a shame because StarCraft 2 is such a fun game.
I mean, maybe it's just the American audience because I know it's still popular in Korea. But,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's not saying much because there's a lot of major league gaming events that happen over in Korea.
You know, that is true. But I don't know if they sell out stadiums like League of Legends did. You know what I mean? It's almost like it really is becoming something that everyone's getting behind, you know?
hmm
And I don't understand it because I never got into that kind of game. But I don't know. For me, when I think about RTSs, I know that like 4Xs are technically something else, you know,
Hmm.
but
It's not the same,
yeah,
I think. Yeah.
but it's,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
it's,
play a lot. It's StarCraft is way different than Civ.
yeah. See, I play Sins of a Solar Empire. Like I've been playing that, and I enjoy it, but it is way different than Supreme Commander.
Hmm.
It's almost like going from, I don't know, checkers to chess. That's what it is. I mean, it
See,
is. I'm not saying like, oh, it's like checkers. Supreme Commander is boring and stupid. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just so much more. It feels more simple.
oh yeah, a lot of games are more simple than Sins of a Solar Empire. That
I
is a
mean, yeah, you're
difficult game to
managing star
understand.
systems. It's freaking crazy, dude. Oh no, but I look at that, and you have MOBAs on the one end where it's more simplistic than the RTS, arguably more simplistic, and then you have on the other end more complicated than the RTS. So I think
Hmm.
from both sides, the RTS market is being eaten away at.
Well, I think it's just that people moved to either one or the other. I
Hmm.
mean, you still see a lot of the elements from there. It's kind of like how you had GoldenEye and now there's Gears of War, and they're just different perspectives.
Yeah,
I know there was a second GoldenEye game that was not as good and was in the third person. No one remembers that one.
I do
Forgot what
not
it was
even
called.
remember that.
But you say RTSs disappeared because of MOBAs. Well, I have it a totally different place to where the RTSs may have gone.
Hmm.
Right? So where are these wild things? Where are they?
I.
Um,
Hmm.
they're on the mobile market.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Clash of Clans, that's technically an RTS.
Yeah,
It's
but
also a base builder.
I just hate that. I hate that game so much.
I do hate that game as well.
The mobile strategy games, like I had one where I downloaded it and I wanted to try it out. But it's always the same formula. Oh, you have to wait an hour before this thing is done. You have to
Yep.
wait 2 hours for this thing to be done.
Yep.
You get a crystal every 24 hours, or you can pay $100 and get 3 crystals. That's the mobile market. That's what they do now for mobile strategy games.
I'd like to correct myself before somebody complains that I said that about Clash of Clans. It's more of a base builder. You do more base building than RTSing, but whatever.
No, that's
Whatever.
fair. No, I see. I do like for mobile games. I really like what is that kind of game where they all march in like a line and you shoot at them.
The tug of war strategy games.
It's like no, it has it. Oh, tower defense.
That's like a tower defense.
Tower
Yeah.
defense games. I like tower defense games, and I think they work on the mobile because you have the touch interface and all that. But when you start to get into these games where it's supposed to be strategic, and you're sitting there and you have to wait an hour before this wall is built, there's no strategy there. It's just wasting
Patience.
time. That's what it's become. Strategy games have become a waste of time on mobile.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I mean, what happened to my beloved genre of game? I mean, has it turned into this?
I mean, I'm trying to think of good modern RTS games.
I know, right? You can't really. Okay, look. Like if Blizzard ever comes back with a Warcraft game, I will celebrate in the streets. But I don't think they will. So Warcraft is gone.
Yeah, I can
StarCraft
see
2
that.
was out just a few, what, 2010?
What about, have you ever played any of the Total War games?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually.
Those are really good RTSs. Well, not Total War Rome 2. That was pretty poop. The Shogun series is really, really good. Super detailed, full of history, and just beautiful to look at. Just like watching 100 samurai charge at each other through cherry blossoms. It's great.
That's amazing. No, that's pretty awesome.
It's the only strategy game, real time strategy I can find. Can't find anything else.
See, when I saw it, I thought it was like a watered down Civilization. That's what I thought. And I'm not trying to be mean to the series. It's just
It
that's
has
the impression I got.
it has turn-based elements. So what happens is you're on a map, like a historically accurate map of Japan,
Hmm.
and you take turns building and putting stuff down, and then you end your turn, right? And then if two of your units meet up, there's a battle, and that battle happens in real time.
Hmm.
Or you can just simulate it, which isn't fun.
So that, I mean, that sounds like Civilization almost.
Yeah, you can play it as Civilization, but that's not what Total War is known for. It's known for the large scale. You know, you could have 10,000 units on the field at once, and they're charging at each other.
That's interesting.
It's a very pretty game, basically, and it's very technically advanced from having all the units. And I mean, even the original Total War Rome was way ahead of its time. There's a lot of units on screen, and they're all charging into a city on the big siege towers. It definitely took elements from Civ, but
Yeah.
it isn't Civ.
Well, I mean, I'll have to check it out.
There's
know
also the
for-
War Game series.
War games?
I don't like those.
No. I mean, what do you mean by war games? Like, is that the name of the series?
Yeah, they're like again another one, but it's more of a modern conflict one. So I know the more recent one is Red Dragon. It's on sale for $10, but you
Buy
don't
it
get to
now.
put down your units. There's you get a set amount of units, and it's like you have this objective to complete with these units, and you're basically playing through battles that happened.
That's interesting. So it's like a historical...
Yeah, basically like a historical reenactment.
That's awesome.
Because you can't add like 10,000 tanks. You have a set amount.
Hey, did you know, speaking of that, that they actually do reenactments for, like, World War II?
Where?
No, they really do. I'm not... Like, you always hear about Civil War reenactments. Like, it's a... You know, it's a thing they do in the South, I guess. But they
So
really
they can
do
feel proud
World War
about
II
themselves.
reenactments. It's amazing. No, I knew a guy who did it, because he was from North Carolina. So they do it there. So, I don't know. It just sounds awesome.
Sid Meier's Starships. This is kind of looking like a mobile game, even though it's a Civ game.
Or is it FTL? I mean,
It looks like FTL actually.
yeah, that's what I heard. No, you know, the one RTS series that I love to death, that I wish would continue, is Command and Conquer.
Ah,
There hasn't been a good Command and Conquer game in forever.
didn't they try to add like voice commands?
Yeah, they had. I think it was because they ended it with 3 and 4, like were the last 2 they did, I think. And 4, I think they had Connect support or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. It was horrible. On the console, like for 3, I remember playing it, and I just did not. It did not work on the console the way they did it.
Wow.
Well, like the big thing about Command and Conquer was, you know, build your base wherever, you know, defend your Tiberium, you know, junk like that. That was pretty cool, you know. But it wasn't like that. It was like, oh well, here's your base spot. This is what you get for base building in this game. This is all you get. It was horrible.
That is a. Why would you do that? That's taking away things. It's for the Connect integration, right?
Yeah. No, here's the horrible thing. It was almost like they took... Okay, because Command and Conquer was out like forever ago, right? It was sort of like they learned from that, and then they looked and saw the most recent game that came out, which was Halo Wars, and he said, hey, look at how Halo Wars did their base building. That's a good idea. Let's try and do Halo Wars for Command and Conquer.
God,
Yeah,
I'm gonna die.
Oh, that's what it was. It was
That's
Halo
not
Wars Command and
okay.
Conquer.
That's not okay.
What
Why
did
would you
think-
do that?
What did you think of Halo Wars, by the way? Because I know you're a big Halo fan.
Okay. See, I'm one of the crazy people that my introduction really to RTSs was Halo Wars.
What? Oh no.
Looking back at it now, that game had a lot of flaws.
Yeah.
I still like the game.
Is that nostalgia, or did you genuinely enjoy it?
I did genuinely enjoy it. It doesn't mean it's a good game.
I mean, some people would argue it does. I don't know.
I mean, I like the Dynasty Warriors games. I don't think they're good.
Do you really? I love the Dynasty Warriors games.
See, I love them. I love them. I don't think they're good though.
No, I got eight. What is it? Dynasty Warriors eight Empire? No, is it eight or six?
I don't know.
There's so many because like each number has an Empires version too. So you
hmm
have two games with the same number in the series. It's crazy. Um, but I got one of them for PS3, and I decided to get the Empires version. And when I started playing it, it froze on me every time I tried to play it. It was horrible. And I came to find out you have to install the game in order to play it. You can't play it from the disc.
That's really kind of like how games work now for some reason.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. But it didn't tell you that. It didn't tell you, hey, install the game. It just,
See, I got into Dynasty Warriors thinking that was an RTS
oh, really?
where you could play as the heroes. Yeah.
No,
I was wrong.
well, the Empire series is more like an RTS because it's got the
hmm
map and you try and conquer regions. But yeah, I mean, it still lacks that strategy element. Um,
hmm
what is it? Resource management is a big thing for RTSs, and I think when you look at Halo Wars, the way they did resources was really interesting, and I haven't seen that since.
Didn't they have the thing where you make the resources by putting that as part of the base or something like
Yeah,
that?
it generated over time, and it was just like general resources.
Yeah, that's something that MOBAs do now,
Yeah, but
actually.
yeah, that's true. But I don't want to give MOBAs any credit, so that's that's not
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean, they took an idea from Halo Wars, so that's like taking the smell of poop from from a stain. That's an analogy.
I don't know. I don't know if that's really because I mean it's a good element. I like it.
hmm
Because okay, look, I already mentioned Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander. Total Annihilation, they had two resources. I don't remember what it was. It was like gas and metal or something. But then Supreme Commander was mass and energy, and I
hmm
love that. It's an amazing aspect for the game because what you do with mass and energy is it requires a certain amount for each thing, and you can exchange them at a specific rate
hmm
because supposedly some guy named Einstein said you can convert it or something.
Oh yeah, that guy. I've heard of him.
Yeah,
I think he wrote a thing one time, right?
yeah. I think he's
Yeah.
in a wheelchair and he talks with a robot voice.
Uh,
But yeah, dude. I don't know.
oh, you mean Morgan Freeman? Yeah.
Morgan Freeman. No, look, I
Keigo is a nice RTS if you've been looking for it. I think it captures a lot of the classic RTS nostalgia.
what
Beyond
is
that, there aren't a lot. Grey Goo.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw the. I saw Total Biscuit talk about it.
Yeah, he was talking about he was basically talking about how there's like three separate factions. It's asymmetrical warfare, which I think is really interesting in games. And there's three units. There's the robots and oh wait, no, there's the humans. There's aliens that are called the betas, so they're very nice to you. And that's how they try to get in your pants. And then there's the goo, which it controls differently than both of those,
Yeah,
where your base is mobile, and it's really interesting
it
the
looked
way they
weird.
did that.
Yeah, the goo looked really weird. I'm not sure how to play that faction because it looked so different from anything I was ever used to. So I don't know. So, but
I think it's a step in the
sorry.
right direction.
See, here's a real question.
No, it's okay. Cool.
Do you see RTSs as being a viable, having a market?
I mean, no matter how niche the game, I think there's a market for it.
Hmm.
I mean, whether or not it's financially successful, is debatable.
Yeah.
I think it is. I don't know if you're going to capture that StarCraft crowd and somehow cause a renaissance in RTS games. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a wizard, I can't figure that out, but
Well, I mean, yeah, because
there's definitely a market for it.
when
I mean,
StarCraft
clearly
2
since we're
came out,
talking about it.
yeah, people are still talking about it. And like gray goo is something that you saw everywhere. And like StarCraft 2 when it came out, that was a big deal for everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody started talking about it. I mean, I hadn't bought a game in forever at that point, and I went out and bought it because I was like, "This, I need to play StarCraft again." I've played it like 5 times since I bought it. I keep going back to Supreme Commander. I don't play StarCraft for some reason. I just play Supreme Commander. I don't know. But yeah, that I mean, it's got. I think it has a market. I think it really does. But for some reason, these game companies aren't making their RTSs anymore. I mean, in
I think
Blizzard's
it's a
case,
matter of they're
yeah,
like, okay, what prints money? MOBAs.
yeah,
Let's make a
yeah, that's what it
MOBA.
is. Did you see like they've got a Lord of the Rings MOBA, a Justice League MOBA, Marvel MOBA?
Well, the thing is, nobody's gonna play those.
No, but they keep making them. Why do they make so many MOBAs for everything? Is it just that easy to make?
I mean, there's such a simple format for a MOBA. Okay, you got 3 lanes, you have a bunch of heroes,
Hmm.
and they go and attack each other, and you have minions run down those lanes, and it's the same thing for everything.
See,
So why change it up if you're gonna make one?
well,
Which
I've
I think
been
is the real problem, and
yeah,
I think for RTSs as well.
that it's a stuck formula.
Yeah, because I think the reason people stop making RTSs is like, okay, what are we gonna do differently? I don't know, and then they just decided never to make them again.
Yeah, that's a valid. I mean,
Because
that
I
is a
mean,
valid complaint.
what Grey Goo did differently is it added goo, like that's a different part of the game, and you wouldn't see that like
Yeah,
earlier. People like what is it? It's different.
that's true. Yeah, it's weird.
And I think that's one of the reasons Planetary Annihilation didn't work so well, because it didn't try to expand too much. I mean, it definitely had things where it's like, oh, you can have a planet run into another planet. Nobody does that. That's too much work.
Yeah, I mean that
It,
would be awesome though.
yeah, I've
But
been trying to get that to happen, but I'm doing it with the AI on like the easiest difficulty, and the AI will just not let you do it. There's no way.
hmm,
I've tried multiple times, and you have 3 planets, and they just choose to spawn right next to you. Come on. Clearly, there's an issue here.
yeah, yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think it's more of a issue of they don't know what to make rather than what do we make that makes money. Because
Hmm.
I mean, clearly there've been indie people that are making RTS games, and then occasionally you'll get a Planetary Annihilation or you'll get a Grey Goo.
Now,
There
Grey Goo,
was,
that wasn't kickstarted, right? It was done on its own.
I'm just gonna say kickstarted. I don't know.
See, because Planetary Annihilation was kickstarted.
Yeah, and then it went on to early access. They love double dipping.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, because like that's a case, that's an instance where I think that it actually helps them because they needed the money, so they kickstarted for it. They saw if there was a market, and if they found out there was. But then they went to early access and they released an unfinished game that you could buy. I don't know. I mean, I understand the point of it. They needed the money, so they got more money by that way.
Clearly, it didn't fix the AI pathing
No,
without
no,
money.
it didn't, and that's a huge problem. So what did they do with the money? I mean,
Pretty graphics. I mean, Planetary Annihilation looks really nice.
that's true, and it also it also bought like several blocks of cocaine and stuff like
Clearly.
that. So I mean, that's what it went to. So
Oh.
well, that's RTSs. I think they have a future, maybe. I don't know.
Wow, this is the bleakest podcast on gaming to ever exist.
No, I mean, look, they do have a future. It's just I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I really don't.
Hmm.
Everybody that everybody that does RTSs is doing something else. They're doing MOBAs. They're doing 4Xs. They're doing heck, I don't know. They're doing everything except for RTSs. And then, like you said, the mobile market is eating up that strategy genre, and it doesn't even count as a real-time strategy game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's essentially a mobile game that they call strategy.
Yep.
It's got all the same elements as every other mobile game. Pay trans or minimal, like what is it? Hour-long base building transactions that cost $1 that you can do to make your game go faster. What's the point of that? I mean, if I play a game,
you can
I
play
want
it by sitting on your toilet and then
well,
get
yeah,
up.
I want equal footing when I play a game with Donald Trump. I don't want him to. I don't want him to be able to sit down and buy out
Frank,
the entire
Frank,
game.
this is an entire other episode here. How about you shut it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It is.
No, but that's RTSs in a nutshell. They're going. They have a chance to go somewhere. That's
Frank's very worried. You should fund his Patreon so that way he can make his RTS game.
Careful, they're gonna go to Tumblr.
Oh God.